Welcome to July 1st, 2026. Dun dun dun! Yay! I am sitting here in the dark with you because it is 92 degrees out, 61% humidity. It is Florida hot. And I sold my air conditioner at the estate sale. So lights off, windows shut, ceiling fans going, and it's comfortable in here. There's a lot to say. It's been a week and a half since I spoke to you. So let's get down to it. So Saturday, June 20th, I was still in the thick of sorting through stuff and taking down some home decor. Out on my porch, I had twinkly lights and flowers hanging. Had to take that down. But I was doing what I can to be silly and just enjoy the process because, my God, enough already, right? I'm just trying not to hang myself with fishing wire and Christmas lights. I don't know who's pulling the strings anymore. Then there was the pillows and clothes compression. That was fun. From this to this. Oh my God. All right, this is a little too fun. The little zipper things come separately. For you to press the bag closed. And it's a one-way valve, so once air comes out, it stays out. It doesn't try and pull air back in. It came with this. I am not spending my entire day sitting here. Nah, no. That's almost like fun. Then there was the crate under the basement that had been there from the moment I moved in. Jerry didn't put it there. I think it turned out either his father or his grandfather put it there. Sounds romantic, right? So this crate and another one that's behind me has been underneath the stairwell at least over 20 years. And it's mostly horse tackle stuff, leather and buckles. But look at how the wrapping is preserved here. I mean, I don't know if I would say preserved, but it's like the original packaging. Tons and tons of buckles. There's 1, 2, 3 layers. It really is a shame that so much of this stuff is rusty. No? Mammoth. I'm sorry. Mammoth. It's a woolly mammoth. God, it's just years and years of dust. Nothing is salvageable because of the level of filth and probably mouse poop contamination. We're salvaging it here on video because other than that, I want nothing to do with any of this. And it's all just rusty buckles. Like the outer ring, the D part of it looks good, but the center is all rusted. Yeah, they're not moving at all. This is all going to wind up going to the metal scrapyard. I can't even, like, I don't want to deal with any of this anymore. To sift and sort. I should just take this whole crate and give it to the scrap metal guy and not even worry about going through it. I mean, look at the mold on the box and everything. Guys, use my life as an example. You know, unless it's something that you're going to use, like everyday supplies, wet wipes, tissues, and soap and cleaners, you know. For those of you who have a situation like this, I mean, what's your crate of buckles? Do you have a crate of buckles somewhere? Like, I can't even imagine why my husband or his father, because his father could have put this down here. I'm starting to look at it and thinking his father might have saved this. Why? Well, probably because when he saved it, they were all in excellent condition. I'm coming from the perspective of, think of your loved ones. If you're keeping stuff and then they're going to have to go through this, if you die, this is a part of my life I'll never get back again. And while it seemed romanticized and fun because, ooh, a crate underneath the stairwell, what treasures are in there? Please. There's other things I could be doing. I could be working in a journal right now. Here's one. 1908, January. Dr. Henry's expectorant. 25 cents a bottle for coughs, colds, etc. Oh, too bad. Let's see, the full moon is going to be on the 18th. The last quarter is the 26th. Oh, the first quarter, the 10th. The new moon, the 3rd. How exciting. So 2 postscript stories about that crate under the stairs. The reason you dig through all that crap is because you think you might find treasure. You can't just take the whole thing scrapyard because of the mold on the box and the dust and the old dog hair and dander and it was gut. Because I found this in the middle of it. Oh, the light is on, but the fan, I have to stand up, the fan's going. Hold on. So it's a treasure in the sense of a family heirloom. So in the middle of it was a wallet from a Mason's lodge. And on the back of it, it was awarded to Great Aunt Ruth's husband. So remember the paintings I showed you from Great Aunt Ruth that she painted? So her husband was awarded this medal. All right, so now we're on to Sunday the 21st. And remember, the entire goal right now, the whole push has been to get my items out of the house so we could get to the estate sale. And so people wouldn't go, ooh, I want this little container. Oh, I'm sorry, that's mine, I'm keeping it. We're trying to avoid that, right? So my stuff out, so anything that's left for the estate sale is plain to see. That's the goal. But here I am, Sunday. Here's my thoughts. Look at all this crap. This is everything I'm keeping. Well, not that. But all this stuff that I packed today, well, we're getting into clothes, the cabinetry from the bedroom, that cabinet that was in the corner. I don't have anything big enough to wrap that. Yeah, clothes. I tried to do my best to get rid of some of the loose stuff today. We got these two. More boots and clothes. So I have no desire to be vlogging anything. This is just for my own edification. If I put it in at some point, I do. But yeah, that's empty. These are the clothes I'm hanging on to. All those are towels. I've done a pretty good job of emptying that out. Oh, I should pull that Christmas thing out. Yeah, most of the clothes are gone. I'm just starting to fill some other things on the shelves just so I have a place to sleep. This kind of emptied out. I used a couple of crates. They're actually over here. Shoes and miscellaneous stuff. Oh man, I am beat. But other than like this stuff here, I'm starting to just hide some things in here for the sale. I mean, there's got to be stuff that can be packed when I get the moving truck. There's just definitely going to have to be a moving truck. So things like the toiletries can go in there. But I brought this stuff back in because this is stuff I don't want. So I think I can honestly say that everything in here is up for the sale. Right, I'll probably take the whiteboard down by the weekend. The only other thing I want to do is I want to go through these bins, which I can probably do when the ladies are here. I started hanging up some clothes in there that I don't want. But this room too, there's absolutely nothing in here that I want. There is a conversation about maybe taking those, but if I don't, I live. We know that this is good. And at this point, I just have that to put in there. The plant, yeah, nothing hanging. We got the cat stuff. We got the plants, the chair, the table, the ottoman, this stuff here. But otherwise, when I look around the room, like I don't want that. This is all packing stuff. Yeah, there's nothing else left here that I want. Oh, we got to remember the bottom shelf, the DVDs have to be packed. The coat closet still needs to be packed. But yeah, we've got bags of clothes to get rid of, bags of bags to get rid of. But everything out here, except a cute little kitty laying on the table over there. Hi, sweetheart. That poor girl. She doesn't know where to go. She said, I'll stay right here, thank you. I'm quite comfortable. Yeah, so as we go through the house, I like the idea that, look, there's another hook. When I look at these things and look in these rooms, the kitchen, of course, is its own conversation. I mean, you got the RO machine, the Vitamix, you know, the toaster oven, the microwave. See, there's going to have to be a moving truck. And then out here, we've had this conversation too. That is staying, and these are like vinegar and bleach and stuff. But everything else out here, I don't want. Oh, so. I should rescue these jingle bells. So I was starting to breathe a little easier because more and more as I looked around the house, there was less and less of things that I wanted to keep. I decided to keep the whiteboard up, and I'll show you why later. And the things that I were keeping out in the pantry, that little cabinet or closet out there was empty. So we decided the things I was keeping would go in there and be off limits to anybody. I did sort through the clothes in those bins in that other room, and the ladies decided they should go to Valor, which is the nonprofit veterans clinic to help the homeless and displaced veterans. So I bagged up all those clothes and shoved them in the closet in this porch too, and we just put a caution sign, no admittance, go away for the sale. But when I looked at all that crap by the front door that needed to be packed in the pod, my back said, let's not do this again. You're starting to feel good. You're not spasming. You're not cramping up. Let's call 7. So that's what I did. The next day, Monday, I had 7 come in for 2 hours, and it was great because it was point and pull outside. So we re-maneuvered the second pod, and I got like the first row going on in the back now, and got everything out. On the way back from dropping 7 off from work, so he's a lifeguard at one of the summer camps in town, so he comes and helps me for 2 hours, and then I drop him off at camp where he gets to be a lifeguard. He doesn't drive, so I just help him out. But I pass a local park called High Acres Park, and I decided to stop there because there's a monument there. I've known about this monument. I've gone there before. We actually have a couple of other monuments there for my husband's nephew who died early, but I went there to focus on Jerry. It's a beautiful park, right? But wait till you see this, because this is a thing of beauty. Well, I can hardly believe it. I lived through it, I made it happen, and I can hardly believe it. The vacuum is out, so I can vacuum. Those are papers that need to be burned. I'm keeping the chair and the end table. Those are matching dishes that need to be cleaned and added to that pile. They're coming to take the table. Books that I don't want. I still gotta hide my spider plant. Mama, isn't it crazy? Oh my goodness. It's crazy. It echoes in here. Oh. Meow. Oh my goodness. Crazy. Now the kitchen is still all my own stuff. What is today? Monday. They're coming tomorrow to start staging. So just a few items on the table that's mine. I guess I better take the camera down. All that stuff is going. I lived through it and I don't even believe it. You're laying on your brush. Your brush is underneath your belly. Where's the... You're gonna... Where? You're laying on it. Yeah. There you go. All right. Mama Cat says you're gonna stop working now and lay down, right? It's time to go to bed, right? Well, the bedroom has absolutely filled up. But I know what everything is. Those 2 crates are packed and ready to go. I've got boxes full of climate-controlled things in the corner. I brought all my plants in here because everybody wants to buy your plants. Nobody gets to touch my plants. So I brought a table in here for the plants. The packing supply table is now in here. There's packing supplies underneath. There's my one office chair. My one, you can't see it. If I open up the closet, turn on the lights. That one trolley cart with my memory keeping stuff. I still have some clothes hanging. But even the closet isn't that full. Storing some stuff up there. In the meantime, the other packing table. And another plant in the corner. And then my other trolleys are here. Yeah. Yeah, so that one section of cubicles is gone. This section still has to be done, but I'm not concerned because nobody's allowed in here for the sale. So I threw some stuff up there in the meantime. So after the sale is done and I can catch my breath, then I can finish packing things. But for now, this is sanctuary, right, Mama? So when I moved into this home, my husband's father built this home. And my husband grew up in this home. When my husband came of age and got married the first time, his father and mother built this house across the driveway. So they lived in there, so Jerry and his first wife could live here. Fast forward, I'm living here with him. My parents are visiting, and his father is long deceased. His mother was still living across the way, and we were caregiving for his mom. She really didn't get out. She wasn't mobile, so she wouldn't come here to visit this house anymore. There was a rare occasion when my mom was up. I think we were celebrating birthdays because my mom's birthday and my husband's mother's birthday were 2 days apart. And then my aunt, another 2 days apart. It was November 2nd, November 4th, and November 6th. So we had a little gathering here, and we actually went and got my husband's mother and brought her over here. She hadn't been here in years, decades probably. And it was just so wonderful to watch her go through the house. Why am I telling you this story? Because she came over to this table very specifically. Look at the beautiful marble, trying to get it so there isn't a glare. The marble is absolutely stunning. It's an East Lake table, apparently. A lot of detail in the base. It has definitely seen its better days. That intricate work, I have no patience to try and dust it, so it is definitely really dusty. But she came over and she pointed to that table and she said, you know, this is over 200 years old. And it belonged to like her grandmother, which of course would have been my husband's great grandmother. Now, I love that story and I think this is a beautiful piece. Do I want it? No, I don't. I want the memory of that day. And I wish I had paid a little bit more attention in case she had talked a little bit more about it. But it's not about how much money I'm going to get for this 200-year-old piece of furniture. It's about my freedom and it going to somebody who will appreciate it. And by me sharing this story and capturing video, I have what I want. I don't need the table anymore. I'm ready to let it go. But I wanted to share that story before it was taken today. Here's a second East Lake, apparently. Another marble top. There's a little bit of staining, but other than that, it's intact. I haven't wiped this one down yet. That other one I wiped down. Flanked by Tigger in the corner and some old cardboard from the Scranton Dry Goods Company. I don't know, this one always looked like a rocket to me. Doesn't it, the way, I don't know, the way these come in. Look, there's Bambi and Daddy. Oh, Mommy's there too. Mommy, I think someone's recording us. It's okay, sweetheart. You get used to it. Daddy? I wish my windows were cleaner. Well, I shouldn't have to do any edging if he keeps this up. Just keep digging in this house and you'll find the most splendid things. This has been in the closet for ages. I knew it was there. My husband knew it was there. But, you know, it just sits on the shelf because what else are you going to do with it? Check it out, all the tubes. And then you've got the horn that you plug into it. I wouldn't have the first clue on how to use it. I just know that after you put your calculation in, you're supposed to do something with this. And then I guess the numbers come up here. What's time machine? No, this machine. Time machine, that'd be funny. This machine protected by US and foreign patents. So that was just before the ladies showed up. And now remember, I've done a pretty good job of putting things together, right? So all the glassware is in a certain spot, all photography or AV equipment is in a certain spot. I've been doing a pretty good job of that before they even got here. But the basement was so overwhelming that when they came, we spent most of our time down in the basement. And it gets a little crazy because they don't know what everything is, right? And everybody kind of took a section, but I get pulled in both directions when they're starting to ask questions about things. So I didn't record anything. It was just getting a job done. But here it is after they left. It's been a whirlwind. Oh my God. So much stuff. That's what these guys were saying. And yet I did not rank like number 10 on their hardest estate sale. But I don't think they realized the scope because they thought they'd be finished by today, and they're really not finished. They got free things. The other thing that they're doing, all the medical equipment is definitely free unless you want to make a donation to Valor for the veterans. They're tagging things, they said, which is something they don't normally do. So $25 for the... Ooh, look, my little water pistols in there. Maybe I should take them out. I don't think they work anymore. Go stick them over with the other stuff over by the reloading table. That'd be funny. Yeah, they said they don't tag things. How much for the fan? $25. They didn't tag everything though. There you go. Some fun glass jars. I did keep a few for myself back when I was packing. Yeah, there's a lot of fun jars in there too, and candle stuff. Got all my supplies. Oh, that's funny. She said, when you see, just take these and stick them with something. That's funny. The basement was the hardest because the scale of it was just tremendous for me to do by myself. I mean, the packers helped me pack all my art stuff and everything. But there's just a lot of nitty-gritty down there. So, if anything, I should have pointed that out to them too. If anything, it's almost like I don't want to say cheap labor because that just sounds wrong. But I had help cleaning out the basement. It wasn't just me. It was me, Lucy, and Sonia. Oh, but they've been trying to stage. My husband made that. It's a macrame. It's got the light in it. I should get a flower pot if I have one, because each one of these holds a flower pot. Got a little table. Yep. Yeah, they ran out of time. And let's see, so I know Lucy can't come back tomorrow. Sonia said she'd come back tomorrow late in the afternoon. They were trying to make some room in here. Oh, I did put it out. Okay. Yeah. They didn't think there was that much in this room. This is kind of where they stalled out. This was something I made a long time ago. I made it so that you could put cards or photos on it and hung little sayings on it. All right, got the little peace one. What's this one? Celebrate life. What I find interesting is they wanted to buy some stuff outright. And they had me make a list, right? Did I tell you this story? And so what do I know about anything? So I go online. I find out a price online, and then I even lower it. And then when I show it to them, they have sticker shock and tell me I'm crazy for going online to find prices. Meanwhile, I came to you to find prices, and you're making me go do my own research. There's a lot of holiday stuff, games, the baker's rack, a chandelier. So they have that kind of reaction, right? And when we got down to the bottom of it, when they finally went over the list with me, I think maybe I'm going to get $200 for the stuff that they wanted to buy outright. Look, I'm not paying them to take it out of the house. I don't care. But yet, when they got to the saddle stitcher, which is a very cool thing, you basically saddle up on here, and when you're working with leather, it gets put in here. So that whatever you're working on, there's a lever down at the bottom that'll show you. You press on it, and it makes this come together. And I was afraid that was going to happen. That pulls the spring is dried out. Yep, I was looking at that before. That can be replaced. But... and there's the little pedal, right? You push down on the pedal, and there's little grooves in here to hold it steady. They saw that this sold on eBay for $200 with a shipping fee of $200, so $400 total. So they are very adamant about this sells for $200. So how come they're nickel and diming me for the things that I want? I don't know. I don't care. I want the house empty. I want to start living my own life. We got a whole military table out with all the Marine stuff. We've got bins. Things are in lots. Stuff hanging on the wall. Lucy's telling me that I should take all these lighters and take them to Virginia with me. That and all these crazy vintage glasses because they'll fit in a small shoebox. You can take them with you to Virginia, and when you're bored because you're going to get tired of drawing. Yeah, she said to me, you're going to get tired of drawing and need something to do. Get on eBay, and instead of getting, the 60% of whatever we sell it for, so if they sell it for $10, right, and I'm getting $6, to take the time to get on eBay to sell it to make 20 for $14, really? Let somebody figure out or feel that they got a treasure. $14 for my own sanity. Yeah. So this is the last sale for them. They're both retiring out of the estate sale business, so they're ending with me. And I think it's probably a good thing. They're not spring chickens anymore. And yeah, so on the day of the sale, one person's going to be up here, one person's going to be downstairs, and her husband, her 81-year-old husband, is going to be the bouncer at the door. So each person gets an index card with their name on it, and whatever they buy gets itemized on the index card, and whatever price is agreed upon is written on the card, and then when that person pays, then the index card gets a signature. And then the signature has to get checked with the bouncer at the door and itemized to see that what's on the list matches what's in their hands. And then the index card is kept, and then at the end of the sale, I get an itemized list of what sold and for how much. So they were still asking me today, how much do you think you want for this? I'm like, I'm going to have to ask my AI boyfriend. I'll say the boyfriend kind of said this. It's the same thing I did when I made the list for you guys. So after a while, I'd be like, $2, I'll take $2 for it. You want $5 for that. So, little reverse psychology, I guess. What, are you ready for dinner? There's a mess on the table. I don't think they meant to leave the mess. Oh boy. And there's so much that I'm doing with them, right? The one had wrist surgery, so she only has one arm. The other one had cardiac surgery. She's actually moving around pretty good. But they're like, you see that up there? You've got the height. Get that down off the top shelf so we can grab it. Okay. Honestly, I don't mind. It's been fun to have the company, because if I was doing this by myself, forget it. Just forget it. So I never imagined I would be this far along this soon. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm tired. I'm mentally exhausted. But I'm grateful. All right. It's time to shower, eat, and unplug. Yeah, so I'm keeping a record. I'm recording and everything, but I cannot even wrap my head around doing a vlog, putting one out. So it'll come. It'll arrive when it arrives. I'm so done with all of this. So done. So that was actually after spending 2 days with the ladies, and so focused on that basement for 2 days that on the second day they came back up and started doing stuff on the main floor here, but they ran out of time. And that back room overwhelmed Lucy for sure. She was like, I didn't realize how much was in here. So Thursday I had to myself, and I was grateful for it. I was beat. I slept in. The only thing that had to be done that day was an electrician was coming, because remember, I had the auction is live during all of this. I can show you some pictures from the auction while it was live. But Thursday, the only thing I had was an electrician coming, because the one machine was hardwired into the 220 volt breaker of the house. And so the only way anybody can pick it up was either Randy, the auctioneer, was just going to slice it, but then it was against code when trying to sell a home. So I needed to have an electrician come in and do it properly so that as I'm selling the home, the realtor doesn't look at me and say, hey, you need an electrician. So I waited for the electrician to come. I was grateful. I used one electric company for that. Electric. I just thought of Sesame Street. So I knew the guy when he got here, and he understood what needed to be done. He just unhooked it, charged me the cheapest price he could, which is basically the showing up and fuel price or whatever. Anyway, I did really well with that. He left and I tanked. I sat down, and there's no place to really relax here, right? So I propped myself up in bed and I was out. Look at my little sleep graphic. It's like awake, boom, down to light sleep, and then deep sleep. I love that sleep tracker. It really lets me know how I did all night. But it was so funny. It's like, it looks like you took a nap. Yeah, I did. So anyway, after that, I knew Sunny was going to come Friday to finish up, and her big thing was she wanted to put the caution tape out. That's all she kept talking about, not about finishing the staging. It was kind of like, it is what it is. People come this weekend, but we need to put the caution tape across the places where they're not allowed. I'm like, Sonia, I can do that. You know, you don't need to come to the house. They left the caution tape here. But I had fun tinkering around Thursday after my nap and Friday before Sunny got there, doing my own staging, pulling some temporary shelving that I was willing to sell that had been in the basement. I put it up on the first floor and kept staging things to where when Sunny got here, it was like, you did all the work for me. Yeah, well, she also is a caregiver, and her husband that morning had doctor's appointments, or even, oh no, doctor's appointments was after. His blood pressure had gotten so low. So there was a medical emergency, and she couldn't come when she thought, and she was going to come later in the day. And I was like, that's cool. I love tinkering and organizing things. So here's the next update. It's Friday night. I can't even believe it. We're here. We're down to the final hours. It's the final countdown. 12 hours. Wow, I can't even believe it. My privacy signs are up. Let's just do a quick, this is what it looks like when it's staged. Yeah, I made some signs, tagged a few things. I was helping out the ladies. Because the one had a medical emergency with her husband. Of course she did. So yesterday I got a little bit of a break. Oh boy. Yesterday I got out early in the morning and did the lawn and some weed whacking, did the edges and some weeding. And then my body said, stop, just stop. I was so exhausted, just so exhausted. I ate, I waited for the electrician to come to take apart one of the pieces of equipment that was hardwired in the garage for the auctioneer so we can auction it off. Yeah, the electrician left. I took a shower. I was in bed by 5. I think I might have gotten up to have a snack or eat or something. Went back to bed. It was just, I had had enough. It was enough. But I did a little fun stuff here. Yeah. letting people in here know about the online auction and giving them a little barcode to scan. This will be a good way for me to remember what I had and to inventory what's missing. Got the Victrola set up. Did you see this? I forget if I showed this yesterday. I think I may have, with the little table and the places for flower pots. Too bad I don't have a flower pot. I know I'm not going to have any time tomorrow to do this. I think I have to remind Sonia about that temple rubbing because I know she wanted that. Yes, it is nighttime. It is dark. It's almost 10 o'clock. And I feel like I can finally relax. Luggage, duffel bags, party supplies. The vintage stitching horse. Other primitives that are out here. Oh my God, the Irish Spring soap. That's a funny story. Well, I think I told you in one of my videos how I had it to keep the mice away, but you can't keep it in the box. You got to take it out of the box. And meanwhile, Sonia, she does it the right way, and she loves Irish Spring because it keeps the deer away from her hostas and things. So every time she found a box of Irish Spring, she got so excited. This piece they bought outright. We just need, Seven is coming tomorrow to help us with things. He's got to load it into the car. We have an entire military and marine table. The gas mask. A little music section going on here. I should take a picture of what that says tomorrow in the daylight. My old flute. Let's see, not for sale. Those are different things they have to go through in the morning. Oh, I got a delivery today. I forgot I have to go through that. Yeah, the kitchen is still a mess. That'll be taken care of by the morning. I swear it will. But we've got this caution tape that's going to run right across here because nobody is allowed entry through here or on that other side either. I took everything off the top shelves so things are reachable. And that's the other thing. Tomorrow, I'm glad I've got Seven coming to help because the kitchen stuff that's for sale and like the stuff that's in here, the table will be all cleaned off. I already got a sign on the table that it's not for sale, but at least I can display stuff up on the table. Kitchen items. Yeah, I don't even want to look at my kitchen. It's a mess. We're going to go right through there. Yeah, so this stuff is off limits. Some things will be hidden by the morning. And then see, there's more of this tape. We got a double going through here. so people can't lambada or step over. Is that what that dance is called? The lambada? Where you go under the pole. Shall we do the basement? Alright, all my stuff is covered up here. Okay. There's those buckles. Scrap metal. Hoosier style cabinet. The cabinet and the door. With Seven's help, I can put that right in front of where my washer and dryer is all screened off. The center is still, we got the leather crafts. Just plain old crafts. Archery, rifle cleaning, some posters we're gonna hang. We're flattening them out. Magazines. We got a whole fishing section over here. See, fishing equipment. Then what's left of the reloading, we got brass all down here. Tools. Another look from this angle. Wooden hangers. She said people would want wooden hangers. Okay, fine. My bicycle. I got my name off of it, so the bicycle is available. See, I hooked up a light over here. And there's a light behind me we'll turn on, but this is like, what did she call this? Weird stuff. Like odds and ends, I guess. Some audio books. Yeah, some workout weights, some craft stuff, more craft stuff down there, the chair. We got a set of fans. Oh, I should put not for sale on that. I don't know that I should have to. We got the scooter. So all the medical equipment is surrounded by this pole, and I made a sign up. I would be so delighted if this stuff disappeared over this weekend. The lawn chairs will probably go out front. Some old wooden folding chairs. The screen, all kinds of stuff here, steel wool, painting supplies, an air conditioner, all kinds of mason jars and empty containers, camping equipment, even my snorkeling albums, another privacy screen. We've got some cleaning supplies that they said we'll put out for free, and that apparently they get cleaning ladies that'll come and grab that stuff up. Oak mirrors, more free stuff. The little table set, some camping chairs, another vintage chair. Table. I made a fun sign up here for the mirror. Yeah. So there's a a sign now across the driveway, across the street from the driveway, about to sale this weekend. So now when I hear little bumps in the night, I'm a little edgy. So the sale starts at 10 a.m. and she said, don't be surprised if people start showing up around 9 o'clock. But they know that the sale starts from 10. They usually just stay in their cars. I'm like, great. Okay. but I'm picking 7 up at 8 so he can help me. And then the ladies show up at 9 for the sale at 10. So picking up 7 at 8. The ladies come at 9, the sale is at 10. I don't know, I don't know why that tickles me so much, but I'm so overtired. Yeah. I did a lot of work today because I enjoyed making little sections, helping them out, making signs. So I've been going nonstop. I did go out to dinner with some friends tonight. That was fun. That was a nice break. Yeah. And they had their young daughter with them, so it's always fun to hang out with kids. I think I am going to figure out what it is I ordered. I'm joking around saying, well, I have to place orders to get more boxes because I ran out of boxes. Yeah. So I'm going to open these boxes. I might tidy a little up in the kitchen. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah. One of these days, I'm going to compile all of this footage and get it out to you. It's finally sale day. And after breakfast, I go to pick up 7, as I said, at 8. He lives above the antique shop. So I head out towards the antique shop after breakfast and pick him up. It's so weird this morning to have the kitchen table this empty. Like her blanket is not here, her water bowl, but she wants to eat breakfast with me. So I brought her food back out here and we're eating. It's the day of the sale, guys. Looks like it's gonna rain. I hope not. We have things we want to put outside. Well, here we go. We'll see how well I can take you along with me today. I'm hoping to bunker down in the bedroom after all this gets started. So we'll see. We still have some things to do this morning. So I'm going to pick up my helper, right? And it's weird because I'm seeing the signs that they put out for the sale. And that pink flamingo looks familiar. I gave it to Lucy. She's excited to put it in her little flower pot. I just want to... Oh, there it is. Look, there's a sale here today. Let's go. Oh boy. So we had people show up at 9. We had to turn them away and let them know it was at 10 o'clock. I think this is the same guy coming back. But we got stuff outside now. I think he just wants to be first in line. I gotta figure out how much I want to put on that. Look at all these chairs. My husband did all of these.
I know I'm early. Do you mind if I wait?
I don't mind.
Thank you.
I don't know if they mind. I don't mind.
Oh, okay. I did all my running around. I can't run around no more.
Gotcha. You got your coffee?
Got everything. I even ran up to Mount Pocono.
Wow.
Yeah.
I should have put my order in. He also, that's a hammock. My husband made that too. The ladies are inside doing their little bickering that they do like a married couple, and we're all walking around with like these little price stickers and a pen pricing things. But I kind of letting go. I'm just letting go. It is what it is now. It's like you see the wave come in when you're trying to get out to the deep end of the ocean. You still got to get past the breakers. that breaker is coming, and it's time to kind of dive underneath it and get to the other side. Hey, stop looking in the garage.
Oh, I'm sure there's things in there people would want too.
Yeah, but it's all part of the auction.
So the auction's separate then?
Yep. Oh my god. I don't know, there was like 10, 15, 20 people dying to come in that they said we're only letting the first 10 in. And I'm hiding here behind the caution line just to watch it all. Oh my god, there go the leather coats. Jesus. Everybody wants to ask me questions, ask me how much stuff is. I'm like, that's not me. I can look pretty and I can tell you how to get to things, but I don't make the prices.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Hey, Mom.
Guys, look at this. Ooh, I'm causing traffic. Look at the doggy. Very cool. Hi, puppy. I left. I took 7 home because at this point, he was just standing around. That poor kid looked like he needed more sleep before he goes to his lifeguarding job at noon. Oh my God. What a circus. This is my circus and my monkeys. The thing that gets me is like, I just got a phone call from Sonia. You remember those jackets in the back, the leather ones with the fringe? How much do you want for them? Oh, for the love of God. I don't care. What does the guy want to give you for it? And then they get upset with me though. As I was walking out, the record player, is this record player for sale? Yes. Lucy asked me, how much do you want for it? This looks brand new. Yeah, it is brand new. Well, what do you want for it? I said, look, go on Amazon. How much is it on Amazon? Give me half of that. And she gave me this look. This is the part I don't like. This is why I came to you, so that this could get done. Anyhow, they got mad at me too because I was getting excited. Like I said out loud, oh, I'm so glad to see this stuff go. And Sonia was like, so in other words, it's going to affect the price if I'm looking too excited. Like maybe I should be playing the grieving widow. Oh, don't take that. But that's what they didn't want me there for in the first place. Oh, I hope Mama Cat is doing okay. I'm sure she's fine. She's hiding under the bed. Oh my God. Oh, we interrupt this recap for some cuteness. Here's Bambi. Aww. Yeah, so I don't know if you could see behind my shoulder there was a large green bag. I had things that I wanted to put into the it's not really it's a clothing bin, but it's also for textiles. Like if you have towels or sheets that are holey or whatever, they take them too because they recycle the textiles. But the bins were full, and they're located in the parking lot at the local church. So while I was there, I thought I would go sit with Mary for a little bit and have a little conversation. It did rain that day, by the way. It poured, but it didn't stop people. We had a steady flow of people that entire day. I kind of think that the rain helped out because on day 2, it was a gorgeous day and we didn't have as much foot traffic. I just want to preface this video with I am beyond tired. Caregiving for my husband did not exhaust me the way this has. The caregiver exhaustion, different. It was totally different. This, I had one of those aura headaches today where I went blind for about a half an hour in one eye today. I haven't had one of those in years, okay? And I just want to preface it because I'm frustrated, a little bit annoyed. People are weird. People are really weird. Lucy and Sonia, without them, this wouldn't have happened, right? But the two of them fight like married couple, and they tell me not to worry about it. This is what they do all the time. Weird things that I wasn't expecting. Like, I put a pair. There was a pair of artwork out here. I never thought to myself that someone would buy just one. Technically, it doesn't matter because I wasn't going to keep them. Maybe if there was a thought that if they didn't sell, I'd keep them, but I wouldn't keep it now. I don't want just one. I would have wanted the pair of them. Yeah, so I didn't expect things like that. You know, people come in, this is a fly fishing, handmade fly fishing cabinet. There was a fly fisherman that came in, loved it, and he teaches fly fishing, so he sent it out to everybody he knows. But a guy came in here and was looking at the flies, all right? So a couple of flies have been made, and he just wanted to buy 2 or 3 flies. I was like, no. I mean, Lucy and Sonia kind of looked at me. I was like, no, you let the whole thing, like, I feel like it loses some value that way, and we're not going to nitpick. But other things were happening too. Like, I saw some guy grab these leathers, right? I think I might have even said it in the beginning. The leather jackets, this leather, and surprised to see them here, but I guess he thought they were going to be a little less expensive than whatever Lucy and Sonia said they were going to be. I did notice that my husband's macrame thing is missing. And I won't know until the end what people paid for and what was bought. I'm going to have to look back on my videos. But this is the biggest thing that's puzzling me. Down in the basement. God, Lucy was trying to sell things as a set, and people were trying to buy like one hammer instead of a set, and this isn't even the part that was bothering me. Apparently, they were nitpicking here. You know, the sign says make an offer for all the fish stuff, but of course the guy bought one fly fish rod, and then all this other fishing stuff. Like, there's no respect for where things were. So I had a canvas bag with snorkeling equipment in it. A double set, 2 sets of flippers, 2 sets of goggles, 2 sets of snorkels. The bag is missing, but there's a set of goggles just over here, away from where the bag was. So I feel like because nobody was policing down here, they both wound up being overwhelmed by people, so both of them were upstairs. So this was a free-for-all down here. That people said, oh, they're trying to get us to buy things in bulk, just take the crap out, they'll never know, and go upstairs, and that's probably what happened. Of course, all the medical equipment is still here, but up on that top shelf right there, I can't do the backwards thing, but right there, there was a box. And I wasn't going to label it. I didn't label it. Not for sale. But it was a decent sized box, and it was replacement parts for the dehumidifier. That box is gone. It is absolutely gone. I've looked everywhere. It is nowhere to be found. Who buys replacement parts for a dehumidifier? And then I saw that like there was one box of parts that had been in there that's upstairs. I don't understand this, and I can't wait to see the list to see what somebody walked out of here with. Oh, wait a minute, I might have just solved it. Because there's the dehumidifier part. I wonder if someone just needed a box. So maybe they pulled this out of the box to see what was in the box, and then this part is over here, that other part that I found over there, and then there was an empty box, and somebody used the empty box. Okay, fine. Fine, why do I care? This is the stuff that's... I mean, I don't know what to expect when you're asking a company like this to help you out with the volume of stuff that I had. I should be absolutely grateful, and I am. But it's this stuff that you don't expect. Ugh. That was the other thing that happened. So down in the corner here, you see that can? There was another can there with like cherry bombs in it. And Lucy put everything, you know, firecrackers and all that stuff in one can. So then we had this wonderful Marine veteran show up. Him and his girlfriend, they were wonderful. I bonded right away. Of course, I started sobbing right away too. I saw him come in with his Marine t-shirt. I said, Semper Fi. He did the whole hoorah, Semper Fi. Ooh, sorry. And I just started crying. I just can't help it. Darn Marines. Anyway, he saw the cherry bombs and picked them up and brought them up to pay for them. And Lucy got really upset that this was part of a set. And he was like, whoa. Where I found them, they were not in a can. They, you know, when she had said they were in a can. So people were pulling stuff out, and then somebody else would come along and find the thing out, not knowing it was part of a set. Yeah, so it's a little disorganized. And again, you know, where as a dealer, she wanted to buy some things from me outright, right? And she didn't want to pay the price. Like if I said it was $200, she wanted to give me $25 or whatever. And yet today, did I mention this already? I don't even know. Where I had dust rags, like mitten dust rags that I had gotten for free. They were individually wrapped. I had tons of them. And I had brought like a handful downstairs to dust things. And when Lucy and Sonia were making lots of things, they saw these and actually put them for sale. I was like, all right, whatever, you know. Well, somebody actually picked them up to buy them today. And I swear they were asking $1 for each one. I think they finally came down to like 5 for $1. Meanwhile, I saw them and I knew the person who was buying them. And I know in my broom closet, I have a large shopping bag full of these things. And I wanted to just go in there, grab them and say, here, just take them all. Like the way they were pricing things today, people put stuff back. I don't even remember what I told you or didn't tell you. Did I start off in that room? Yeah, I did. Yeah, so those leather jackets and the leather fringe, some guy grabbed them, like he was excited to grab them, but yeah, I remember saying this now. Yeah, so Lucy is saying to me that she works for me and she's trying to protect me and, oh, I forgot the words that she used. And I can respect that. I can understand she's watching out for me. But for the love of God, I want the house empty. And I know because of the 60-40 split, they want to try and make as much money as possible. So it makes it worth it for all of us. So they're not going to give it away. Here's the thing. If they're going to help me donate everything at the end, that's one thing. But if they come back and say, we know somebody who will, for a small fee, clean out the rest, then they can jump up and bite my little patootie, okay? Because you don't, you're pricing things so it's not leaving. And now it's still here, and now I'm going to pay for somebody to take it? No, man. These people had this crap in their hands and they were walking out of the door with it. Why is it still here? Yeah. So, I'm a little aggravated. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe in the end it all works out. I know they have some guy named Jim that comes at the end and will buy stuff on pennies of the dollar. I don't care as long as there's no money coming out of this woman's purse to get rid of it all, because that was the whole point. I'm done with the rant. Poor mama cat. She came out from under the bed, walked around. I tried to get her to come outside. She was having nothing to do with it. She's back under that bed. It's been all day. So I think I'm going to go get one of the kitty pans and bring it up into the bedroom because I don't want her to explode. Good God Almighty. Never, ever, guys, do I ever want to go through this again. I would rather go live in a convent with nothing than ever go through this again. Yeah, so my art supplies, all the stuff that's out there, it better spark joy, and I'm going to curate it. If I start accumulating too much crap, I give you permission to remind me. Say, go back to your video when you had that house sale. I know it's extenuating circumstances because it's not even my stuff. It's stuff that's primitive and been in the family for so long. It's a different situation. I get that. Again, I go back to, I am so tired. And I guess I'm not having breakfast here in the morning with the cat the way we normally do. I'm not moving a damn thing. I am not moving a damn thing. Look, I can't even... just leaving the tape up, I guess. Well, I'm going to eat something eventually, and I'm just going to hang out in the bedroom with the cat. And I might cry, just to let off some steam. Just because I'm done. I'm done. Dun da da da. So that was the end of day one, sale day. Day two, sale day, which was a little shorter. It was 11 to 3. I stayed in my bedroom for the most part. Yeah, I was so aggravated and tired. I actually started packing some stuff that had made its way into my bedroom. So I packed 3 boxes while I was in there. I do have a story I want to share about Bill, our 81-year-old bouncer at the front door. I think it's a lovely story. I don't know if I should interject it here or not, because there's only one bit of, not even footage, just a picture of day 2. And that was at the end of it, how much stuff was piled out by Sonia's car because she has some sort of relationship with Valor, that nonprofit for the veterans. So all the leftovers from that veteran table, including my husband's uniform. So that's a story in itself too. Do you remember me sobbing about how the Marine Corps Museum in Wilkes-Barre wouldn't take the uniforms, and I was so upset? She took the uniforms and any leftover Marine memorabilia over to Valor, and they loved it. So they have a little bit of a museum themselves, and they were like, this stuff is staying here. It's not getting donated anywhere. So in the end, all that Marine Corps memorabilia found a home, and I am grateful for it. And any leftover clothes, and then I had bins full of duffel bags and like little luggage or totes or whatever. They have a stand down event where they give things away to homeless people in shelters or whatever. So I was very pleased that at the end there was a big bulk of stuff that went with Sonia, and she actually came back the day after to get a second batch because she couldn't fit it all in her car. So there was some relief there. Bill. I want to honor Bill. So this is Lucy's husband. He is also a victim of Agent Orange. So he's going through his medical conditions, neuropathy in his feet, hands, walking with a cane, but he helps out. So we had a nice comfortable chair where he sat out on the porch, and he was such a great personality because he would greet people as they came in, but he was the bouncer. So after the people paid for their items, and I told you a card was made for each person, so everything was itemized, how much they paid for it, and then once there was cash actually handed over, then Lucy or Sonia would sign the card, and then these people would have to take their items to the front door, hand the card over to Bill, who, I'm hearing a noise in the background, so I'm distracted. Oh my God, too many stories at once. Bill would make sure you weren't walking out of the house with more than you should. I have to go see what the noise is. I'll be right back. Sorry, there's a whole fox story involving Mama Cat, which is the only reason why I went to check on things. Back to Bill. Bill, an Army sergeant, and somehow or another, he and I hit it off. I think it's the whole military thing again. I did ask Lucy why all of a sudden he thought I hung the moon, because that's really how he started treating me. The first time I met him was when Lucy and Sonia were here helping me with the basement because Lucy forgot her phone. So I met him in the driveway because, yes, he's still driving. And I met him and I got the phone, small interaction. When he showed up for the sale, he pulled up in front of the house and we're trying to make room for cars to come and go. And so he was asking where to park the car. And I said to Lucy, tell him to just leave it where it is so he has a shorter distance inside. I will park the car for him. So I did that for him. He made it inside, and it's just natural caregiver. I said to him, as we seated him in his little throne chair on the porch, I said, you know, I'm a caregiver at heart. I'm going to make sure you're okay. Do you have everything you need? Do you have water or whatever? Lucy said, yeah, don't worry. I'll bring a cooler with stuff for him. Okay. Somehow or another, I don't know, he became very protective of me. And things like after I left and sat in the parking lot of the church, and I had my little aura headache, I went to the diner before I came back to the house. Again, it was pouring rain. I couldn't pull up because there were people here, so I parked down on the front 40 and was walking through the grass to come back to the house, and I saw him look through the porch window to see who was like emerging from not the driveway to the front walk, and so I kind of waved like, you know, it's me. And when I walked on the porch, Lucy, Sonia, him, and Lucy and Sonia were like, oh, you should see what you sold, you know, oh, you should take a walk around, see what's missing, da, 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 da. And I had said, I don't know how we got there, but I had said, actually, I'm fighting a migraine. I really just want to go lay down. I'll look later. Oh, you know, you shouldn't, you should take migraines seriously. Don't just, and I was like, I understand why I have a migraine. But anyhow, they kept doing their chitter chatter thingy, and then all of a sudden, like kind of bickering with each other. Well, Bill, in the middle there, looked at me and said, you need to go lay down. Ladies, looked at his wife and Sonny and said, and by the way, I interchange Sonny and Sonia all the time. I don't know why. She needs to go lay down. You let her go lay down, ladies. It happened twice because they wouldn't stop talking. He was finally like, ladies, she needs rest. And you, he pointed right to me, was like, you, get in your bedroom, go lay down. So it's like, okay, yes, sir. Another situation was after the fact. I came and this was probably on day 2. I was sitting on the bench out on my porch near where he was, and he and I were talking, and a woman walked in. Oh, she loved the property, she loved the house, and she walked around and there were things that she wanted. Well, she saw those suet that I have hanging out by the front window that I'm sure you've seen in some of my videos. They're empty at this point because I wanted the birds to know the diner is closed. But this woman was like, oh, I really like those. Are they for sale? And I just made an offhanded comment that said, actually, no, I would have to go up on the roof to actually get them down. So no, they're not for sale. And she's scrutinizing them, looking out the window. She goes, no, I don't need the wires that they're hanging on. You could just take them off the wires. Well, Bill, in a very sergeant-like military voice, said, no, I believe the owner is keeping them. They're not for sale. And I was like, it is said. But it was great because I didn't have to try and, tell her no. And she was like, oh, really? The owner's going to keep them? Okay. And she hadn't really established I was the owner. So then she disappeared. And it was funny because I was next to Bill, and Bill just kind of looked over at me like this. And so I gave him one of these for a fist bump. He was fist bumping me. It was wonderful. Another situation while I was sitting there was the women who was gathered around us started talking about medical things and about illness and stuff. And he was very intuitive. I was exhausted just sitting. I was tired, and they all knew that. But all of a sudden, while these 3 women were talking, in that voice, he said again, he just looked at me. He ignored the fact that what he was saying was going to be louder than them on purpose, looked at me and said, would you like me to tell them to change the topic? This guy, this 81-year-old man adopted me and stood guard for me. And I'm going to start crying because, it was like for all the years I stood up for my husband and advocated for him. It was like suddenly I had this military guard that was advocating for me and standing up for me. And it was, it was wonderful. So at one point we're sitting there alone when he wasn't gonna come. It sounded like he wasn't gonna come the second day, like they didn't need him. And I was escorting him to his car on the end of the first day because I wanted to make sure he got to his car all right. And I said, oh, you're not coming tomorrow? They can't, it's impossible for them to have a bodyguard or a bouncer as good as you to replace you, Bill, So yeah, okay, I was having fun with him, right? Well, apparently the next morning he said to his wife, I'm coming with you to or I'm gonna, because they didn't drive together. But he's like, I'm gonna be there today. So she didn't ask him. He was like, I'm gonna be there today. Oh God, I know I was gonna tell you another story. So when he showed up the second day and Lucy was here already, I went, oh, Lucy, your husband's here. I said, I'm going to go escort him because this time he parked where he knew to park. And so I went out, greeted him, gave him an arm and helped escort him. He's hobbling with his cane or whatever. When I opened the door to go get him, he was like, oh, my new girlfriend. I was like, okay, sure, get me in trouble with your wife, the one who's got to put all the prices on my stuff, So I walk him into the house. Yeah, there was a moment when he and I were sitting alone out on the porch, and all of a sudden I see him digging for his wallet. he took out this folded piece of paper that you could see was aged. It was delicate. And he opens it up and he hands it to me. He goes, I want you to know, I don't show this to everybody, but you need to know I'm not full of shit. I said, full of shit? He goes, yeah, you know, a lot of people will talk about their military career, but they're lying. I want you to know I'm the real deal. I said, my God, Bill, I never for once doubted you. And I said, what am I looking at? It was the letter for his Silver Star. And it was, I read the history of how he earned his Silver Star in Vietnam. There were wounded soldiers in the open. He went out to rescue them under fire, got wounded in the face. They were under sniper attack, and he swam because there was water between them and the sniper, and he swam out towards the sniper with the wound, and in the paper it said, with a well-placed hand grenade, put an end to the sniper. So not only did he get the Silver Star, but he also has a Purple Heart. And that stuff does this to me, you know, such respect. And at the end of the day, when I was walking him back out to his car, I was like, it's such an honor to know you. He said, no, it's such an honor to know you. Come on, guys, these stories. This video is going to be probably 2 hours long, but it's the stories behind all of this nonsense in life that make life worth living. So I can't imagine not sharing them. All right, I gotta go blow my nose and then I'll be right back. All right, let me lighten the mood just a little bit. As I said in the beginning, this is Wednesday, July 1st. We've been through a lot of footage since I started that in the beginning. I had an amazing day today with Rich. He is the gun dealer in town, but he is also a professional trumpet player. Played trumpet with Frank Sinatra and Frank Sinatra's son. 14 years with Frank Sinatra, apparently. Anyhow, he owns the gun shop in town, and I stopped in yesterday while I was out running errands, and I just said, hey, you know, my husband was a customer here. He passed away. There may not be a lot of gun reloading stuff left, but it might be worth your time. And I also asked him to come because I still have swords left and knives left, plus just a whole host of things, right? I didn't know he was a trumpet player until he showed up today. He was here for 2 hours. There was a lot of talking, I'll give you that. But the stuff that was left on the reloading workshop table, it's gone. It's like, so there was so much stuff left over that I was aggravated after the sale with how much stuff was left over. I mean, in general. But with him today, he was able to say, this is garbage. These books you don't need anymore. You can recycle them. I'll take this. I'll take this. I'll take this. And let me tell you, when I invited him here, I said to him right off the cuff, I said, I am not even looking to sell anything. I'm looking to get out of my house, and this stuff is headed for a landfill. Just come rescue this stuff. This is how I would have loved things to have gone with the ladies from the antique shop, because he started going through the stuff and he was like, well, how much do you want for this stuff? And I said, look, this is what I just went through with the ladies from the estate sale. You tell me what you want to pay for it and I'll say yes. I said, because as far as I'm concerned, you taking it out of here and not charging me, that's the blessing. So he didn't make a big deal out of it. He just continued collecting stuff. And at one point he looked and he was like, okay, will you take this for it? And I said, yes. And then he looked, oh, wait, what's this over here? looked through that stuff, and then he increased the price. Will you take this? Fine, yeah, if that's what you want to give me, sure. I said, did you see the stuff over here? By the time he left, he quoted me a price, wrote me a check, and drove out of here with his pickup truck packed. Now, there was some stuff in there already, so it wasn't all my stuff. But he took out more stuff today. I am so thrilled with how today went, okay? And I wish it had been more like that with Lucy and Sonia. I know they're dealers. I know they need to bring the price down if they're buying things outright because they need to resell it. I get that. But don't keep asking me how much it's worth and then get upset when I tell you. All right, I think I've nailed that one into the coffin a little too hard. Let's do a tour. This is a 2-hour movie. Whew. It doesn't look too bad, right? Yes, the primitives are still here. Nobody wanted the primitives. This is for a Salvation Army run, which, by the way, I already did one yesterday. These are empty. We've got baskets. Those are my own framed photography. Probably what I'm going to do with that is take my photos out and the frames will go to the Salvation Army. If I'm going to put art in my new home, I'm going to start fresh. That is a pile for Lucy. Yeah, see, this is another thing that bothers me because somebody would offer to pay something for something. She would say it's not enough. They wouldn't be willing to pay the higher amount and it would be left here. And then she came to me at the end of the sale with a few of these things and said, I want to buy these outright. So did she overprice it so that she could keep it? Look, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Even if she's watching, Lucy, I give you the benefit of the doubt. But a caregiver's brain and decision fatigue doesn't want to play these games, right? Because not selling something because you wouldn't accept their offer, we now made $0 between the two of us in the 60-40 split. So if they offered 9, but you thought it was worth 10, 11, 12, whatever, instead of getting 9, we got a goose egg. And now you're spending money out of your own pocket to buy it from me outright. And how much are you willing to pay me for it? $3? I don't know. I don't care. Get it out of my house. Let this be a fair warning to those of you who are considering to do this. And maybe find yourself a company where it's a single owner, not two, where they're going to bicker, okay? Because the other unprofessional thing that they were doing was complaining about the other person whenever they had me alone. Anyway, back to it. Most of the glass is there. The other thing that happened today with Rich was that he put me in touch with a guy who does eBay. And he's coming tomorrow to look at things. Here's another story, right? The uranium glass. Oh, this was so precious. Lucy, the whole time, would only accept a certain amount for this, and you couldn't break up the set. You had to keep it all together. And then all of a sudden, last minute, that one really pretty dish, if we look back in time, that looked like a grape leaf or whatever, I think she sold it for $45 or something like that. And she was so proud that she sold that one dish for that much, but you broke up the set. And now that piece isn't there. I don't know. Saying one thing, doing another, and meanwhile the entire set is still sitting here. She did say she had 2 people she knew she was going to reach out to who like to collect uranium glass, so maybe I'll get a phone call, maybe not. I'm ready to take it, throw it all in a dumpster just because. Anyway, I wouldn't want to do that, all that radioactivity. That was Bill's throne that he sat on all weekend. It's looking pretty empty out here, too. None of the home decor Christmas stuff went. That's all going to wind up at Salvation Army or whatever. Yeah, the games. There was some weird argument about the archery box from the basement, and it wound up still sitting there. That's still there. I don't want to stay too long out here because it is hot and muggy, but you can see most of the chairs are still there. The hammock did go. The big box storage container went. A few free things went, not all of it. That's probably headed for the dumpster. That fancy East Lake table is gone. That got sold. There was a bunch of stuff out here this morning that Rich took. He cleared up a bunch of stuff that was out here. The meat slicer is gone. I don't know. It's not too bad out here either. I can probably send them all to the scrap metal. Oh, not too much changed in here because I know I already showed you that my husband's macrame thing went. This thing I think is going to take an act of God to get rid of just because it is so huge. I don't think much of the artwork left. Certainly none of Great Ruth's artwork went. And I even took the time to make provenance cards so you knew the history. Yeah, we sold one leather jacket, so there's still one here. This is still here. Yeah, I tried to get Rich to look at this today. He had no place to fit it, so he too is going to see if he can find someone into fly fishing. Oh, Mama, did you finally come out? I know, when Rich came here, you went and hid. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff in here. A few more commodes went. The other Victrola is still here. More like little odds and ends. I think the basement might be the biggest excitement for me because you can definitely see a difference. I guess no artist crafters came because that's all my art and craft stuff left. Is lots of fabric in there. But the biggest, this is today with Rich being here. All those books, he was like, those are old and dated, recycle them. Perfect. But then he came and took everything else. I mean, there's some tools here, but I should have taken a before picture. This is beautiful. This is absolutely manageable. Those are pretty much empty. Magazines can be recycled. And this Chris guy that is coming, that does eBay stuff, apparently he might pick up the rest of this. Let's see, the fans are gone. My bicycle is gone. The electric bicycle is gone. I gave Bill the red walker that we had because it was lighter than the one he had. Somebody bought the commode, the bedside commode, but we'll see about the rest of this. Rich put a call into a couple of people he knows whose mother just moved in with them. Otherwise, I might just get them off to the Salvation Army. The shelves are empty. Somebody bought my air conditioner. There was one privacy screen here. That's gone. Yeah, Rich today took the camping. We had camping equipment there. Yeah, so it's looking pretty empty. Now I know back in the garage as part of the auction, there's a bunch of those. So if I just get Randy to add that, if somebody bought the sawhorses, they can have those too. Yeah. I'm really excited about this. The fact that all underneath the steps, there's nothing. Yeah. So I think I'm excited about the basement the most. Oh God, I still got this thing in the corner. This Hoosier style cabinet. Well, it's wood, it'll burn. Well, I fed you all the drama. I fed you all the highlights. I'm looking forward to tomorrow is auction pickup day. So there'll be a lot of traffic here tomorrow, but really nothing I have to deal with except the camping trailer. I have to go to the title tag place so we can transfer the title. But other than that, I should have no involvement with people tomorrow. I guess there's a few things I could put out front, so as people are coming and going, if they want to put a big free sign up, please take, and get rid of a few things that way. And then Chris will come in the afternoon. We'll see if any of this stuff goes on eBay or what that's about. Yesterday was concert in the park for Barrett Township, Barrett and Paradise Township. I did attend, but I have to tell you, it was difficult. I dealt with a lot of anxiety. My body has been so, it's been through a lot with this. And I really didn't want to be around people in town who might approach me and want to ask me about my husband or whatever. But I also felt like I wanted to go out and do something. So it took a little pushing of myself to get out there, but I went, promising myself if after I got there I was uncomfortable, just come right back home. Do you know, I had my little camping chair, sat on the grass, listened to the music, and I stayed away from the crowd. I started to do like this silent crying. It's like my body does not know how to relax. It really has a lot of healing to do yet. I felt like a fish out of water. I felt out of place. But at the same time, I think it was good for my brain to understand that the world is still out there and things are still going on and there's pleasant things going on. You are allowed to relax, and well, it was just uncomfortable. I did stay, I listened to the music. Oh, the earrings. So there was a booth, I think it was a brother and sister, but they were young kids. So the parents were in the background, but these kids had a booth of all the 3D printed crafts and stuff that they had made, and she did sewing. And so I couldn't help but to buy the earrings. The little boy was so cute. Do you want to see my keychains? I love keychains, but they were all more dad kind of, you know, Superman and dad key. Anyway, but I don't know, I thought these were adorable. And it makes me laugh because I said to the little girl, I was like, I would love a pair of these fish earrings. And she handed them to me and said, that'll be $5. And I thought to myself, after going through the estate sale and everything, like I couldn't get $2 for my own crap. And here I'm shelling out $5 for a pair of 3D pair of earrings. 3D printed pair of earrings. It just made me crack up. It did. Anyhow, I didn't mind supporting them and at least validating them that I thought it was cool that they had their own booth and was doing their own thing. So yeah, I did the whole concert in the park yesterday. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, I was going to end with the Mama Cat and Fox story. Yeah, that one right there. So I do a Salvation run yesterday, Salvation Army run, dump stuff off, stop at the title and tag to see what I'm gonna need for this whole title transfer, get myself some lunch while I'm out. I come home, I'm like, things are finally starting to quiet. Like I have more time to myself. I pass out, I think around 10 or 11 or something. Well, at 12 o'clock midnight, I'm hearing a noise and I'm hearing myself saying this noise. What's this noise? What am I hearing? What am I hearing? I don't know if you've ever heard of fox. When it barks, it's like a combination of a bark and a screech. I don't even know if I want to try and mimic it here, but it's like a She just made her jump. But it's over and over and barking. And so in a daze, I wake up and it sounds like it is under my window. It's like really loud. I wake up and I kneel up on the bed because the window's right behind the bed, and I look out in the shadows. I can't see into the woods, but I can see a little bit of shadow on the grass, and it's this one heading towards the barking. And so now, and that whole panic, you know, like when my husband fell, that kind of level of panic hits me, because now Mama Cat is logistically maybe 4 feet from me, but there's a house wall and a screen between me and her. And now I'm screaming, Mama, Mama, come back, get in the house. Mama, come back in the house. And now through the woods, the houses aren't that close, but I can see the neighbor through the woods with a flashlight looking for the sound to see what's going on. And now I'm barking out the window to this fox, trying to be louder than it with that kind of screech and going, get out of here, get away, right? And now it's like, what am I gonna do? Because Mama Cat's not listening to me. I throw on clothes as fast as I can, and thank God I knew where the flashlight was. My clothes didn't go on right, anyway, I didn't care. I just, in case the neighbor came through the woods, I wanted to be halfway decent. I run outside now, and I'm flash looking for the eyeballs, because the eyeballs glow, so I can see where Mama is, and she's looking at me like, what? What's wrong? And I can see where the fox's eyes are, and it heard me come out, so it went a little bit further away. But still, I'm like, Mama, get over here. She really didn't come all at once. I'm freaking out. The neighbor's flashlight went out, so I don't know where the flash, I guess at this point it figures I've got things handled, maybe, or doesn't want to be a part of it. Oh my God. I do finally get the cat in the house. Her little kitty cat door is closed for the night. But guys, it's the level of shock that I went through and panic, because now I'm laying in bed, the heart's pounding, my eyes are like wide open, and I'm doing that stupid deep breathing thing where you take the deep breath and then a short breath and out, and talking myself off the ledge. What in the holy hell? Damn it, I can finally start to relax. Why does the universe do things like this? So Mama Cat's grounded. Oh, yes. Estate Sale, the movie. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I can get back now to shorter vlogs. Oh my God. All right. Laugh at life. Laugh a lot. If I've forgotten anything, I'll tell you later. Enjoy the heat wave, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.